Hello, and welcome to another Griblet Factory tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take a CD that you might have for a musical or other performance and import it into iTunes so that you can use it in GRaPL. So let's get started. First, go ahead and launch iTunes. Now, before you insert the CD, let's first check the import settings. When iTunes rips a CD, it stores each song as separate files on your computer and will encode them using a specific file format. I like to make sure that it uses the MP3 format instead of using an Apple-specific format. So click on the iTunes menu, select Preferences, and then on the General section, click on Import Settings. Where it says Import Using, make sure that it says MP3 Encoder. For the quality setting, I tend to put it on the highest quality. Lower quality settings will generate smaller files and sacrifice quality, but even at the highest quality, the files aren't all that large. Once that's done, go ahead and click OK. Okay, now you're ready to insert the CD, and let iTunes import it. Once it finds the CD, it will pop up with a menu asking you if you'd like to import it. Go ahead and click Yes to begin the import process. While this imports, let me explain a little bit of what just happened here. When you insert a music CD, iTunes will quickly analyze it and upload information about it to a database to try to determine information about what you just inserted, like the title, the artist, song titles, etc. Since on a music CD, those things aren't stored on it somewhere. Very often, information about CDs are already existing in a database somewhere, so you should be good. Occasionally, though, you'll come across a CD that it doesn't recognize because the information's not in a database yet, in which case it will just say untitled, and you'll have to manually enter the name of the CD, the song names, etc., which is a real pain. And beyond what I want to show here, but I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that you might put in a CD, it might not say what it is, and don't get too confused. You're just going to have to come back after it's done and put in all that information. Okay, let me speed things up a little bit for this tutorial. Now that it's finished, the next thing I recommend doing is provide some cover art for the CD. By default, it doesn't have anything. It kind of looks boring. It's not necessary to add cover art, but it's so easy, I usually do it. So just go to something like Google Images and type the name of the CD. When you find something that looks like it should be the cover of the CD, right-click and select Save Image to Downloads. I have one here that I found for this musical. Then what you want to do is right-click on the album and select Album Info. Then click on Artwork and drag the image that you downloaded onto the window and click OK. That's it. It's so easy. Now, iTunes is actually updating each of the files with the artwork, so it takes a few seconds to really update everything. And it doesn't always refresh on its own, so let's click on Recently Added to get it to refresh. There we go. All right, excellent. So now the last step is to make sure that iTunes uploads your music to the iCloud music library. Depending on your settings, it could do this automatically, but I usually just go to File, Library, Update iCloud Music Library. And that's it. So you can monitor what's going on if you click on this little spinny thingy to monitor the progress. You're going to want to wait until it's completed before you go to your iPad or iPhone to download the music. Obviously, it needs to be in the cloud before your device can pull it from the cloud. And so let me speed this process up. It depends on how many things it has to upload as far as how long it takes. So let me speed this up and we'll jump over to the iPad. So on your device, before you go to GRaPL and start creating playlists, the first thing you're going to want to do is open Apple's Music app. When you do, go to your library and you should see your album under the Recently Added section like I have here. Next, and really the last step before we go to GRaPL, is to download the music to the device. GRaPL will work without needing to download the songs, but unless the songs are on the device instead of in the cloud, you won't be able to see waveforms or take advantage of other features that I'm going to show you in this tutorial. So to do that, just touch the cloud icon at the top and let it download each of the songs. Okay, now we're ready to go to GRaPL. So to create a playlist, just touch the big plus button. Next, touch on Album. Then, you could just scroll through the list of albums to find it, but we're just going to type in SHEP and hit Return, and it will filter the list of albums to show only those that have the phrase SHEP in it, which in my case is the album that we just uploaded in addition to the tenor practice CD that I already had in my library. So if I select our album, we can see each of the songs that we can then add to our playlist. Now all we need to do is enter a name for our playlist, which I will just enter Shepherds and Kings. Hit Return and tap Create. And there's our playlist. Now if we tap Open, we're ready to practice or perform the songs. Since this happens to be a performance CD that is split track, let me take this opportunity to show you one of the latest features added in version 1.3, designed specifically for split track CDs. First, let me scroll to close to where the choir would come in and set a marker so that we can come back to that same starting point as I show you a couple of different channel mod modes. A continue marker is useful when you want to be able to jump to a spot, but you don't necessarily want to affect how the song is played back. So, in other words, when the song is playing back, nothing special will happen when we get to this point. It will just continue playing. But when we tap on the previous or next buttons, it will scroll to this marker. So let me scroll and then tap next. See, it scrolled right back to our marker. Okay, at the moment, by default, there are no changes applied to the output. So let me play back a portion of this as is.
Light the lights, deck the halls, see the shoppers at the malls. Is that
Okay, I don't know if you're able to notice, depending on what you're using to watch this tutorial, but the music was on the left channel and the choir was on the right channel. If your intention was to hear both the music and the voices through your sound system, this could be a problem if the sound system is only wired to be mono, meaning you might only get one or the other channel, which would be a problem. So one of the channel mods is to make the output mono, meaning that it will average the left and right channels together and play that combined signal through both channels equally, so it won't matter how your system is wired. You will hear both the instruments and the vocals, no problem. Let me play a sample again for you.
light the lights, deck the halls, see the shoppers at the malls.
Okay, that's mono. If, however, you wanted to only play the instruments, which would be the most likely scenario during a performance, we would select left only. In this case, since the instruments are on the left channel. If they were on the right channel, then obviously you would select right only. Let me play a sample of this for you. Okay, now for completeness, let me show you right only as well. I'm not sure why you might need to listen to the vocals only in practice, but there you have it. You certainly can.
Light the lights, deck the halls, see the shoppers at the malls.
Alrighty then, that about does it for this tutorial. I hope that helps with importing performance CDs and getting them onto your devices. If you have any questions or have any requests for other tutorials, please leave them in the comments section below. Until next time, thanks for watching.